What's up, YouTube? Just want to do a quick little video about my Honda CRF250L. It's only a month old. I've had it for a month, and I wanted to just tell everybody who's on the fence about getting a motorbike, and maybe you got some guys my age. I'm 44 years old. It's my first motorbike that I've ever owned, and I was kind of humming and hawing about it, buying a bike with no experience. I'd ridden a couple when I was very young, like 13 years old, and I wasn't really, to spend the money on a brand new bike can be a little bit scary because you're not sure if you're going to be good at it or you're going to be able to ride it. And this bike is so comfortable and easy to ride. I basically just hopped on it and started riding. Easy to shift, easy to drive, very, very forgiving. Suspension is great. I have no issues at all recommending this as a first-time bike for somebody. I'm 185 pounds, almost 6 feet, so I'm not super small, but I'm also not super heavy. But when I cruise down trails with my friends, it is really, really forgiving. I've heard the suspension is just a little bit adjustable in the rear. I haven't had any reason to do that yet, and I'm obviously a very new beginner rider, so it's not something that I'm looking at doing today. But it is a bit bouncy, but I also find that to be kind of nice when you're out riding. You're new, it is forgiving. I have ridden now, since buying this bike, I've ridden a friend's dirt bike, and it was much stiffer, but I don't see any reason for me to be concerned about suspension. I do have concussion issues from sports injuries, and so I find it really nice and easy to ride on pretty bumpy trails, and it doesn't jar me. I have, just like anybody who's ever played sports, wrists are sore, everything hurts, back hurts. When you're young, when you're young, you get hurt, and when you're older, you start to feel it. So I don't have any problems with this bike at all with where we go on trails. I can't quite keep up to my friends who've been riding their whole life, but we're doing 60 and 70 down some trails, no problem at all. I think that for a first bike, it's super, super comfortable, super forgiving. Yeah, you can mess with the gears if you want, and you can change the sprockets, but for me right now, it hauls me up hills no problem, and through single track, like anything that's tight, I can stick in first gear and just feather the clutch, and I don't have any issues so far getting up hills. The only thing I am changing, which I did order right away, is a new front tire, because I have had some issues with it being a little squirmy on especially in any wet, or going back and forth between wet and dry on trails, any puddles. It is a little slick, and I had a buddy of mine that races motocross, and he told me when he hopped on it that was the first thing I should change, and so no problem. So I've ordered that up. It should be here next week. We'll swap that out. I do plan to drive this on the road. I got a test coming for a road test here in the next end of the month, and hopefully I'll be able to commute this to work, which will be great. But the reason why I wanted to post this video is because I waited, I'm 44. I've been waiting over 30 years for a motorbike, and kind of was afraid to get one. And now that I got it, I 100% recommend, if you're wanting to get a motorbike, get one. And if you're gonna get one that you want to be easy and forgiving, this might be the bike for you. Starts up every time. I've only had it a short time, but all the reviews are that they're like a tank. It is a bit heavy, but once you're riding, it doesn't feel that way. Really looking forward to commuting with it to work. It's good on fuel, obviously. I think you get over 70 miles per gallon. So, but the fears of getting a bike, paying for it, and riding it, and then worrying whether you would enjoy it, or whether it would be too big, or whether it would be scary, it is none of those things. It is perfect as far as comfortability. And yeah, you can soup it up a little bit, but for me, as a new rider, I think it's important to just get used to it how it is now. And yeah, I just want to recommend to those guys that are thinking about it, or afraid to take the chance of getting the bike that you kind of always wanted. I definitely think it's worth doing. and this might be the bike for you. So that's why I put this video here today, is just to encourage people. I really feel like it's changed my life in a stupid way, but just being a kid again, it makes you feel young, getting on that bike that you were hoping to get, and I'm pumped about it. I dream about this thing at nighttime. So if you're looking for something like that in your life, maybe motorbikes are the way to go. So I hope this enlightens you a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll do some more videos just as the time goes by. I've had this thing only for a few weeks now, but I will definitely do some updates as I improve it, or if I get on some crazy rides and I can talk about those, I'll be happy to share with people. So enjoy your day, everybody. Get out there and get on a bike.